big organizations who, especially those from the last century or the century before, have a sort of paternalistic DNA, and which seems to infect everybody who is recruited to join them. And when they become employees, they exercise a sort of condensation, condescension, condescension, sorry, against my brain is condensing, condescension, that they other us, that they make us the other because we have a medical condition that has damaged our brains and is progressively deteriorating. They seem to think it gives them the right to always assume the position of power and to exercise it over us, and that they seem to think that from this paternalistic point of view, their views are more important than ours, and that because they're professionals, of course, they can stand on their professional credentials and say that they know more about us than we know about us, and that the mantra "nothing about us without us" is actually traduced by them because they use it to engage with us and bring us into things, but in an exploitative way, that they kind of use us up, that they kind of exhaust us, that they get us involved as participants, speakers, contributors, research participants, co-researchers. And sometimes we might get a mention, sometimes we might get an acknowledgement, but we're still essentially treated as a resource that they kind of mine into our minds to produce papers, reports, and studies, and in academic journals, and so on. And I think that comes from this paternalistic othering of us, that we are not the same as them, and they are not the same as we. And where I think as a movement of experts by experience, we need to move urgently to is accountability. They operate unaccountably. They are only accountable to themselves. Their trustees are not us. We are, and I was asked to step down from a board of trustees because I came out and told them that I had dementia. And they said, well, in that case, you no longer have the mental capacity to take on the legal responsibilities of being a trustee. And so they're not accountable to us. And actually, because every penny that they earn, they exist because we do. Their salaries, their funding streams, their income, their project budgets all come about because we exist, but they operate unaccountably, that they don't answer to us. They ask us to present our views and then promptly ignore them. So I think political with a small p, there are two things here. It's a sort of, we need to promote a philosophy, and maybe we have to grow it ourselves and become expert by experience philosophers, a philosophy of equality that says somebody with a neurological condition is still a human being, still has personhood, still should be respected, still should be covered by the constitutional rights of citizenship that every other human being enjoys, and that our views should be balanced and weighed equally, and that when decisions are made about us without us, the people who make them should be accountable to us.